Hello, welcome to this video on perfect competition in practice. In this video we'll determine to what extent a market is perfectly competitive. A perfectly competitive market is characterized by many firms selling identical products to many buyers. There are no restrictions to enter the industry. Established firms have no advantage over new ones. And sellers and buyers are well informed about prices. But the question is, does such a market exist? Let's explore some examples that you may come across in theory. First of all, agricultural products. Are they truly perfectly competitive? They don't meet the first criterion. The products might not be completely identical because there could be quality differences. Furthermore, established firms might have advantages over new ones. Think, for example, in technological innovation. Another example that you may come across is purified water. But again, the ingredients that firms may add can differ. And if we look at the market, we see that a few firms are dominating. And this is a market structure that we call oligopoly. So in short, it's very rare to find a perfectly competitive market. However, we need to realize that the model that we've analyzed so far helps us to analyze developments. In this video, we'll explore the coffee market. In this video, we'll refer to some information that was retrieved from the International Coffee Organization. In the table, you can see that Brazil controls about 1/3 of the world market. Vietnam has managed to increase its market share by 5% in 5 years' time. Other large producers are Colombia, Indonesia, and Ethiopia. If we look at the price development over the last 15 years, we can see that in 2000, the price for a pound of coffee was about 100 US dollar cents, or $1. We can see a peak in 2011 to 291 cents, or almost $3 per pound. The question is, to what extent is the coffee market perfectly competitive? If we look at a particular type of bean, the Arabica, we can argue that these are identical. But what about many firms and many buyers? If we explore the coffee market in Brazil, then we notice that there is about 300,000 plantations over almost 2,000 cities. So it's fair to say that there are many producers. But there are also many buyers. Coffee beans are used by the world-leading coffee producers like Nestlé, Jacobs Douwe Egberts, or Mondelez. These three control over 50% of the world market, so it's difficult to argue that there are many buyers. What about the other characteristics? No restrictions to enter the industry, or established firms have no advantage over new ones. Brazilian Business reports that the Brazilian climate conditions seem to have been made for the plantation of the grain. And Bethel says, since 1840 the world's largest producer and exporter of coffee beans. So it seems that Brazil has the ideal conditions to grow coffee, which gives it an advantage over other countries like Colombia or Ethiopia. To what extent is then the model of perfect competition relevant? Even though many markets might not meet all the criteria of a perfectly competitive market, they do have sufficient competitiveness to allow us to use the model, and it allows us to predict how prices will develop or how quantity will change. We have now explored perfect competition in full. The next video will be about a monopoly.